In some cases, what can happen is that a partner who's joining the firm, instead of bringing the entire amount, may only bring part of the goodwill amount in cash into the firm. Now, obviously, if he brings part goodwill into the firm, the remaining will be debited to his capital account if there is any, or it will be shown as a receivable. This is what we are going to see as a part of this video. Janam and Maran are partners in a firm sharing profits and losses in the ratio of 4:3. That is 4/7 and 3/7. Lagan is admitted into partnership for 1/7 share and is liable to pay rupees 30,000 as his premium for goodwill, but is only able to pay 15,000. He also brings in rupees 1 lakh as his capital. The spelling is partly wrong over here. We've corrected that. Goodwill was already appearing in the books of accounts for rupees 70,000. Janam and Maran decided to share profits and losses equally amongst themselves. You're required to pass the necessary journal entries. So what are the journal entries which will be passed? First is for bringing in capital. Second is for premium of goodwill. You can also combine the two of them. And third will be for distribution of goodwill amongst Janam and Maran in their sacrifice ratio. Should we go one by one? So first is the entry for bringing in capital. Bank account debit to Lagan's capital account. And how much did he bring in? He brought in 1 lakh as capital, right? So we are going to credit him by 1 lakh. But he also bought in rupees 15,000 for goodwill. Even though 30,000 was due, he bought in 15,000. So to goodwill premium account 15,000. The total money received in the bank from him is 1,15,000. Right? Now this money will be transferred to the partner's capital account. Right? The capital account is fine, but the goodwill premium has to be transferred to the existing partners. So we will debit the goodwill premium account by 15,000. But is that the total value of goodwill which should be given to the partners? The answer is no, because the goodwill premium is actually 30,000, which means 15,000 has been short paid by Lagan. So what we are going to do here is we are going to debit his capital account by the remaining 15,000, right, to Janam's capital account and to Maran's capital account. But the issue is how much out of this 30,000 should be credited to each one of them. For that we need to calculate the sacrificing ratio, which is old share minus the new share. Let's see. The old share was how much? It was 4/7 and 3/7. So for Janam it was 4/7. For Maran it was 3/7. Right? What is their new share? You are not given their new share, but what you are told is that they decide to share the profits and losses equally amongst themselves. What does this mean? What this means is that if you let's look at it, that Lagan's share is 1/7. So there were 3 partners, right? This gentleman got 1/7 of the profit. How much is left for the both of them? 6/7, which is nothing but 1 minus 1/7, right? They agreed to share profits and losses equally amongst themselves, which means that this 6/7 will be distributed equally between them. Or in other words, Janam would get half of 6/7, which is 6/14. Maran is also going to get 6/14, right? So if I just substitute this here, new sharing ratio is for Janam is how much? It is 6/14. For Maran it is 6/14. 14 is the LCM. Divide by 7, 2 times 4, 8 minus 6, 2 by 14. In this case 14. Divide by 7, 2 times 3, 6 minus 6, 0 by 14. Which means that the only person who sacrificed is Janam. Which means that this entire premium of 30,000 should now go to Janam only, and Maran should not get anything out of it. So I'm just going to remove this from here. Just create some space here, right? The working note I'm assuming you would have taken care of. So we are going to credit him by 30,000. Are we told that he's withdrawn this money? You're required to pass the journal entries. Now there's already a Goodwill account. One more entry which we have to pass is that the Goodwill account is already appearing in the books of accounts at 70,000. So this old Goodwill needs to be distributed, and the entry for that will be what? We are going to debit partners capital account. Sorry, it's not going to be Lagan. It's going to be Janam and Maran's capital account debited to Goodwill account. This is the old Goodwill. What ratio would this go? This is going to go in the old profit sharing ratio, which is 4:3. In other words, Janam will bear 40,000 of this. Maran is going to bear 30,000 of this loss. Right?